The first rain of autumn fell quietly over the city of Larkspur, tapping against the slate rooftops and pooling in the cobblestone streets. Street lamps flickered on, casting golden circles of light on wet pavement, reflecting the neon signs of cafes and bookshops. In a narrow alleyway, tucked between two towering brick buildings, was Everett Aldridge's clock shop. The wooden sign creaked as it swayed in the wind, and the windows were fogged with condensation, obscuring the intricate gears and pendulums inside. Everett, a man of 50 with graying hair and round spectacles, was hunched over his workbench, hands steady despite his age. His eyes were sharp behind the lenses, a deep amber flecked with curiosity and secrets. The bell above the door jingled, and a young woman entered. Lila Harper, 23, burst into the warm, fragrant air of the shop. Her dark curls clung to her forehead, and her emerald green coat was speckled with raindrops. Her eyes, wide and searching, scanned the shop with the intensity of someone chasing a mystery. "Everett," she said breathlessly, I found it." Everett looked up, his thin lips curling into a knowing smile. "You always find what you're looking for, Lila. But the question is, are you ready to understand it?" Lila held out a small brass pocket watch, its surface engraved with swirling patterns. The hands moved backward. "I think it's alive," she whispered. Everett's eyes widened slightly and he gestured for her to sit. "Ah," he murmured, "the Chronos watch. It hasn't been seen in over 100 years, and it only reveals itself to those it deems worthy." As the rain drummed on the roof, Everett opened a hidden drawer in his workbench, revealing blueprints, old journals, and strange humming mechanisms. The room seemed to shift subtly, as if the clocks themselves were listening. "Time," Everett began, his voice low and steady, "is not linear. We think it flows from past to future, but some things, some objects, can exist outside that flow. They carry fragments of other timelines, memories that aren't ours, moments that never happened until you touch them." Lila's breath caught. She had spent years chasing stories of lost inventions, impossible devices, and whispered legends. She had never expected to see one with her own eyes. Suddenly, the Chronos watch vibrated in her palm. The hands spun wildly and a soft chime echoed through the room. In an instant, the walls of the shop blurred. Rainy streets dissolved into sunlit fields. Cobblestones became golden sand, and she could hear laughter, children's laughter, from a place she had never been. Everett placed a steady hand on her shoulder. "Hold on to yourself, Lila. Some secrets are not just puzzles, they are choices, and every choice changes the path of time itself." The watch's glow intensified. Shadows danced along the walls, forming shapes. Figures frozen mid-motion, scenes from history, possible futures, fragments of lives that might have been. Lila's eyes darted across them, heart pounding. "Will it show me my future?" she asked. "Not exactly," Everett said, adjusting his spectacles. "It shows you what could be, what might have been, and what is hidden in the folds of reality. But remember, knowing is only part of the journey. The rest is living." A sudden crack of thunder shook the shop. Lila gripped the watch, her pulse racing, and the world around her shifted again. She saw herself, older, wiser, standing in a city she didn't recognize, holding a child's hand. Then she saw Everett, younger, laughing in a workshop filled with impossible devices. And then the visions vanished. The rain outside had stopped. The clocks ticked normally. Lila's hands shook as she set the Chronos watch on the table. Everett smiled faintly, eyes twinkling. "Now you see why it is called the clockmaker's secret," he said softly. Lila nodded, a mixture of awe and determination filling her chest. "I don't fully understand it yet, but I will." Everett returned to his workbench, tools clinking. "Good," he said, "because some secrets only reveal themselves to those brave enough to follow them." Outside, the city moved on as if nothing had happened. But Lila Harper knew that time in all its infinite complexity had just whispered to her, and she was listening.